Start to my show. I wasn't even in the camera. Sure, you guys missed me terribly. Maybe you didn't miss me at all. Either way, it's okay by me. Hello, Big Mike. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being my first hopper-oner on my live show. Hello, Texas Red. I was wondering about you this morning. I was wondering if this was going to be an adequate time for you, if you had your hands filled with your kids, or what you had going on. I was wondering, I could do the show without RJ, but it wouldn't be the same. Hello, Kenny. Hello, Beeman. Hello, Casey. Shrimp, Gretch, Casper, User. More likes can attract viewers. Keep it up. Ryan, I haven't even started yet. I'm just saying hello. I am just saying hello. It's hard getting out of bed this morning. Felt so comfortable. I had things on my mind. I guess I always have things on my mind. I wonder if you always have things on your mind. It's interesting how we see the world through our eyes and our perspective and our lives. But we really don't know how it feels to be in another person's body or brain or soul or spirit. And just because I wake up feeling a certain way most mornings, or anxious or worried or scared or maybe even excited, it'd be interesting to try it from somebody else's perspective one morning. It'd be scary, a different voice inside our head, a different set of thoughts, concerns, excitements, stressors. Yeah, it'd be weird. Good morning, Kelly R. And good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Wednesday morning. I believe it is September 4th. It is right at 6:30 a.m. Happy Wednesday. Let me have a little more water. Ooh, it's cold. When I say a little more water, it's really my first swigs of the day. If you're out there and you have a cup of water in front of you, let's take a swig. It's good for us. More importantly than that specific swig of water is good for us, I think it's important to know it's a good habit drinking water, and good habits are good things. And even small good habits like taking a sip of water is a good thing and can lead to bigger good habits like having gratitude or working out or going to church or buying your wife or husband some flowers or, I don't know, being thankful. Hello, Lisa Smith. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Spunch. Hello, Turkey. Hello, User. Hello, Janie. RJ, thank you for sharing the live. And hello, Kathy Smithson and Jackie. Coffee with Ken is a show I've done for quite some time. It is a show about me talking and sharing some feelings and sharing some ups and downs we have in life. Sharing the journey of one man who seems to have a rather up and down life. Maybe it's the decisions I've made. Maybe it's the way I was born. Maybe it's the way I was raised. But either way, it's who I am. But Kilroy's giving me a shout out. I appreciate a shout out. I really do. Means a lot to me, you guys tuning in. Have fun doing this. My audience continues to grow on various social media platforms, and I get a chance just to be me in the morning. Feels good to be me, and I'm sure it would feel good to be you and kind of let your hair down and just be yourself and kind of, I don't know, sit with your feet up on your bed and your PJs and your t-shirt and just kind of talk. And not really worry about what you talk about, or honestly, and this is important, and I don't mean it to be rude to you guys, but not really care. I care about the audience, but you can't care about what the audience is looking for almost. Because if you do, you're going to start pandering to them and not being yourself and, I don't know, not enjoying it. Not enjoying it. You know, occasionally I'll touch on touchier subjects and people get mad at me and say, don't talk politics. You know, it's my show and I'm going to talk about whatever I want. And I'm not trying to be rude or insulting or anything. But I think it's important to do what feeds your soul if you're doing something. And this feeds my soul. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I am so excited to have my first sip at this, for me, very late hour. Most of you are probably scrambling to get ready for work or get your kids off to school or what have you. For me, due to the decisions I've made and the life I've had and the place I'm at, my life doesn't probably look like a lot of yours. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe it was meant to be, but I screwed it up. Maybe it was meant to be, but I found a different path. I don't know. But either way, I'm excited to... Hey, Bethany, thank you so much for following the Live Creator this morning. I have a lot of fun doing this, and I so appreciate anybody that follows the Live Creator and joins me. Do I have a girlfriend or a wife? No, but I have 2 ex-wives. And no, but I have a woman that piqued my curiosity at a coffee shop the other day. But anyway, I'm excited to have my first sip. And my hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh. Wait a minute. I didn't pay much attention to that. Let me do this again. Hold on here. Let me clear out my mind. Okay. Let's pretend it's my first sip. Okay. Or even no, that was just a palate warmer. This is the real deal. Hold on. Here, let's go. Cheers again. I didn't expect it. It surprised me. It surprised me. I'd almost forgotten what got me out of bed. What roused me from my sleep. Woke up at about 5:50 and woken up a couple times during the night as I have a habit of. Sometimes I'll just go to the washroom. Sometimes I'll roll over. Sometimes I'll edit a video and post it and roll over. And I probably did all 3 of them this morning at like 3 in the morning. And I drifted back off to sleep and woke up at like 5:50 and was feeling comfortable, feeling a little concerned, a little worried, but not fight or flight kind of worried or upset. And thank you, Kendra. One where I was kind of laying there comfortable, almost hiding from the world underneath my covers. I don't think that's generally a good way, but it's kind of more, it's an easier way than waking up afraid, so afraid that you got to run out of your bed, or like afraid of your bed because you're afraid of the thoughts that might be bouncing around your mind first thing in the morning. So I woke up afraid enough just to cover up underneath my covers. And as I do, I started thinking of things I was grateful for. And as is happens, it started making me feel a little better. And I kept thinking of things I was grateful for, and I started adding some spirituality and taking a deep breath and going, thank you, God, for this soft bed. Thank you, God, for the extra sleep I got last night. And I thought about some things that were stressing me out a little bit, and then I said, thank you, God, for my ex-wives. Because I think if something out there stresses you out, there's still probably sides to it that you can be thankful for. And I think that's almost the most important stuff to find gratitude for. You know, you can be stressed out by your job, but you can also be grateful for your job at the same time. And I tell you what, it makes you feel a lot better about that job or that ex-wife or that relationship with somebody or that chore you got to do or bill you got to pay or what have you. Makes you feel a whole hell of a lot better. Enjoy my coffee. I am enjoying my coffee. Oh, here we go. But the last thing I was grateful for, as is often. And I mean, it won't be the last thing. I think I've been grateful for 6 different things. Actually making a mental note of going, oh, thank you, God, that for, sometimes you'll take a step and, I don't know, a bone will crack in your ankle or something, but it'll kind of feel good. And you can go, ooh, that felt good. Thank you, God. And, yeah. So hopefully there won't be a last thing I'm grateful for. But the last thing on my list, on my mental list, was my coffee I was going to have. And that usually gets me the energy to hop out of bed and go on with my morning and get started and actually get out of the sheets and get my day started. And I will tell you what, I'm thankful for this coffee this morning. It was a gift from a friend. I've been doing the show a long time. There's periods in my life I've gotten in different rhythms with my coffee. I've been in a pumpkin spice rhythm, as is the season lately. But in the back of my mind, I knew there was a coffee out there I hadn't had in a while. And it was the Cinnamon Dolce. And a buddy of mine went to the store the other day and got me a bag. And I'm thankful for the Cinnamon Dolce. Oh, wow. It's nice. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Chipbot. Deacon Tim's having trouble getting out of bed this morning. Well, Deacon Tim, it happens to all of us. Maybe stay in bed. Maybe today's your day if you don't have to work or you don't have anything to do first thing. Or maybe stay in bed and just enjoy being in bed. I talk so much about habits and about working out and about improving yourself and forgiving yourself and moving forward. But I'm also super flexible that if you don't have it or you don't want it on any given day and you don't take life by the horns and you hide from life under your covers for one day, that's okay too. And that's okay too. I was talking with my friend yesterday and it was about sobriety and how I have not drank in 3 years. And there's certain groups of non-drinkers that will feel if you fall off the wagon or drink or do something stupid that, I don't know, it proves you're weak and proves you have no power over drink and proves you need the group or a higher power or something or a bunch of steps. I think you can kind of just write it off as a screw up from yesterday. And if you don't want to get out of bed today, don't get out of bed. And if you eat like crap today, that's okay. Start again tomorrow. Yeah. I think it's important to forgive ourselves. To forgive ourselves the screw ups we have. Sean, Ken is the man, always inspiring and wanting the best for others. Well, thank you, Sean. I think I always want the best for others. Some people I'll meet. Actually, this woman I met at the coffee shop the other day, she had a bubbly spirit and kind of a sweet and enthusiasm and a love for coffee. And she goes, hey, well, you have an energy about you. You have a something about you. And I go, yeah, but some people really don't like it. And she goes, well, those people don't like to leave the house. And we're trying to draw them out. And I think I do. I think I try and think I know. And it's bad for me. I mean, I'm not saying this is a good attribute of myself, but it's well intended. I think I know what's best for others. And I think smiling and happy and having a good attitude and hope for the future and, is best for everybody. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's, again, I think I'm learning to let other people do their own thing. Do their own thing. And I'd encourage you all out there to do your own thing. If you don't want to, I was going to say, you don't want to make your bed, don't make your bed. But I'll tell you what, you make your bed, you feel a little better and you feel a little more productive and you feel like you're moving forward and you feel like you're going to have a kick-ass day. If you don't want to feel productive, if you don't want to feel like you're moving forward and you don't want to feel like you're going to have a kick-ass day, don't make your bed. But if you want to do those things and you want to have a big smile as you go about your day and you enjoy feeling good and making others laugh and smile and want to be around you, make your bed. Say good morning to your neighbors, whether they say it back or not. Shake a veteran's hand. Go to church on Sunday. Go to the gym. Reach out to your friends. Don't ask them for anything. I tell you, if you send a text, this will be a freebie tip for you. A freebie tip, you know why? Because my show is free. It's the beauty of it. You send a text to 5 people, send it to 1. Send it to 1. I'm going to give you guys a little chore, and you don't have to do it, but I would recommend you do. I would tell you to do it to 5 people because it's so easy. But send it to 1 today. Send a text and write, hey, Bob, just thinking of you. Hope you and the family are well, or hope you are well, or hope you have a great day. And send it. Don't ask him for anything. Don't ask him how he's doing. Don't ask him to respond. Don't tell him about yourself. Just send, hey, Judy, I was just thinking of you. Hope you have an awesome day, or hope you're enjoying your morning, or hope your kids are having fun back at school, or something like that. And I tell you what, it'll send out a little good vibe to them, and they'll go, hey, that was nice. I'm having a hard morning, and this person was thinking of me and didn't ask anything of me, but wanted, me to know I was being thought of and cared about. And I promise you, it'll make you feel good, it'll make them feel good, and then it becomes kind of a chain reaction. It's so easy to do. You could do it to 5 people, but I'd ask you to do it to 1. Uh, yeah. Because I believe in starting small. Ah, ah. So it's Wednesday morning. It is Wednesday morning. I worked last night. I'm currently waiting tables. I'm 56 years old. I live in Naperville, Illinois, a suburb just west of Chicago. I was working in Yellowstone this summer as a waiter. Um I've had a lot of highs and lows and changed careers a year and a half ago. And I'll tell you what, I was a realtor for a long time. Did it for 17 years. I did fairly well, but it was I don't know, not rewarding financially or spiritually or really almost in any way, except you didn't have to punch a clock and therefore you had a flexible schedule. But outside of that, I didn't find it rewarding at all. And anyway, left that about a year and a half ago. And I'll tell you what, when you've had moderate success at running your own business for 17 years, knowing exactly what you want to do, uh, when you leave that business, it's hard to figure out. It's hard to figure out. And you look back at your life and you look forward in your life. And I don't recommend looking too far back or too far forward, but sometimes at times of reflection, we do. And you go, what have I done in the past? How'd that make me feel? All right. What do I want to do in the future? How will that make me feel? And you kind of make your best guess. And you kind of make your best guess. Have I considered moderating a support or recovery group for those who have left the business? Well, I don't know if it's that problematic. I don't know if it's that problematic. Heck, I don't even know if I like most realtors. Do I want to be hanging out on a Zoom call with a bunch of realtors? I don't know. I don't know if I do. Sorry, realtors out there. I'm not saying I don't like you. I'm saying I'm not sure I want to hang out with a group of former realtors. I think it's important who you hang out with and you spend your time with. I think it's so important. I think we should be more careful about that. I think it's important we don't try and fix, change, or save anybody. I think it's important we recognize people for who they are as they are, not who we want them to be or should be or think they should be. And if we accept people as they are, that doesn't mean we need to become their friends or hang out with them or ever see them again. Because we should not hang out and spend time with everybody or anybody. Because I think who we spend the most time with says a lot about who we become. So pick your people, your tribe, your group carefully. And don't do it haphazardly. Don't just, well, this guy likes me or this woman's not totally mean. Be selective. Because they're probably not going to change. But you can. Justin Landry, thank you so much for following the Live Creator. Thank you so much for following the Live Creator. I'm going to go get another cup of coffee. Hang with me. Hang with me. Whew. What time is it? What time is it? It really wasn't another cup of coffee. It was just a heat up. It was just a heat up. Oh! How'd I do last night? Chip wants to know. It was a slow night. It was a slow night. I work at a restaurant in downtown Naperville. I've been working there about 3 weeks. Got back from Yellowstone about a month ago. Came back because my kids needed me, and I missed the western suburbs of Chicago. And family and friends and my home. So here I am. And I went out that next day after I pulled in. I checked into an extended stay because, hello, Tara Jacobs. Thank you for sending me heart puffs. Went out the next day. Had been a bunch of different things in my life, but now and again over my life, I fall back on waiting tables because as a waiter, you can make surprising amounts of money. You got to work hard and you got to be open to hustling and what have you, but you can do fairly well. And it's a flexible job where it's certainly not 9 to 5, and you can work a couple nights a week or 7 nights a week. And I needed the latter because I have 2 ex-wives and 4 beautiful kids and a lot of financial responsibilities. And I don't know, kind of enjoy it. So I've been working as a waiter the last 3 weeks in Naperville. I worked last night. I'd worked 7 nights in a row, and then I had Labor Day off, and I worked again last night, and it was kind of a quiet night. And I only had a few tables. As a matter of fact, it would have been more quiet in the restaurant. I work at a restaurant with a patio in downtown Naperville, and sometimes when it's slow, I'll go out on the sidewalk or back on the back patio, and I'll see somebody walking by, and I'll start up a conversation and ask them if they want a drink or they're hungry, or I don't know, start talking to them. And last night I only had, I don't know, maybe 5 tables, and one of them certainly wasn't coming in the restaurant if I didn't solicit it. And that felt pretty good. And the guy goes, wow, you should get a raise. I probably should, but I've only been here a couple of weeks, so I doubt I'll get a raise. But I enjoy doing that. And I have a lot of experience doing that. Again, I was a realtor for a long time. We'd have open houses. Some days our open houses were busy. Some days they were slow as heck. When they were slow as heck, rather than just sit in the kitchen hoping somebody opens the door, I'd often go out on the sidewalk if it was nice weather and look around and see if a neighbor's, walking by or walking their dog, or, I don't know, opening their garage, or if a car's driving slowly by looking at my signs, and I'd go up and say, hey, want to come in? I've got cookies and coffee in there. And I'll tell you what, when you work at a restaurant, it's even easier. As I was telling my boss, heck, we sell alcohol. This is easy. Highland, thank you so much for sending the rose, and good morning, Torrin Evans. Good morning, Torrin Evans. Tommy Joe says he doesn't drink coffee because it tastes disgusting. The restaurant last night, I brewed up a pot of pumpkin spice. It was just me. Usually I'm there with a buddy who drinks it as well. And I was trying to give it to my fellow employees, my manager, because I knew I wasn't going to drink the whole pot. Was using my very best sales tactics. And let me tell you, when I believe in something, I'm a pretty good salesman. And nobody wanted my coffee. Nobody wanted my coffee. Yeah, no, I know, Deacon. I understand. I understand. I work at Racehorse. I don't know what you mean by that, Deacon Tim. I saw a movie last night. I got home kind of early. edited a few videos, had some dinner, had a bunch of cherry Moose Tracks ice cream that I bought at the grocery store yesterday. For the record, I like Cherry Garcia is my favorite ice cream right now, I'd say. Any sort of Ben and Jerry's ice cream with a bunch of, if they throw brownie and caramel and toffee and Cool Whip and call it a flavored ice cream, it's going to taste pretty good. I will tell you that. So any of their combinations of ice cream is pretty darn good. But there's something I really enjoy about Cherry Garcia. It's got a little chocolate, it's got little chunks of cherry, it's got little cherry ice cream throughout. But there's also another type of ice cream called Moose Tracks that I enjoy a whole heck of a lot. And yesterday at the grocery store, I came across a cherry Moose Tracks, and it wasn't Ben and Jerry's ice cream. It was like Dean's or something else. It was pretty good. I mean, it was pretty good, but it wasn't as good as regular Moose Tracks or as good as Cherry Garcia. Highland says Wells Blue Bunny is the best. David says mint chocolate chip is the best. Tommy Joe is so excited to go to a football game on September 15th. Chip, I've currently stopped alternating going live. For a while, I was hopping back on TikTok and a different social media platform, bouncing back and forth. I'm trying to figure out what works best. I'm trying to figure out what works best. And I'm not sure what works best. And as my buddy says, it's research and development, and we haven't figured it out. And so right now I'm going live on TikTok every morning when I wake up, and have a lot of fun with it. So thank you, Tommy Joe. You know, it's kind of part of life. Tommy Joe said he watched my TikTok, and I did one the other day where I talked about my mom. And my mom passed about 4.5 years ago. She had Alzheimer's, and we always had a volatile relationship because we were both very passionate and very emotional. And she'd worry about everything, and I'd worry about her worrying, and I'd go, "Mom, let me be." But anyway, yeah, she passed 4.5 years ago, and you know, it's part of life, and it's a weird feeling, and it's a chapter closing, but it's kind of one opening up at this or starting anew at the same time. And honestly, I think I've gotten more on the right path. You know, I lost 2 members of my family in the last 5 years. My close, my immediate family. And I think both of their passings, especially my brother, impacted me. And in some weird ways, I'd say inspired me to put my stuff in order and get my life going and what have you. Because I think a lot of us go through life and it's okay. But I'll tell you, I think my brother made a lot of mistakes. And I've made a lot of mistakes. So I'm not trying to, I've made a lot of mistakes. But my brother never saw the error in his ways. and didn't try to change the path he was on or was unwilling to. And just watching his life run its course inspired me to change mine. Oh, thank you, Highland. I appreciate that. It's Wednesday morning. It is Wednesday morning. I do not know what my day holds. I do not know what my day holds. I have Monday and Wednesday off this week from the restaurant. And it's probably good to have those 2 days off because they're probably two of the slower days of the week. Tuesday wasn't super lucrative, but I'll tell you what. As I decided a week ago, one thing I need to do, as a lot of things I need to do in life as a twice divorced guy, is get my financial stuff in order. Honestly, I know money doesn't buy happiness. I know money doesn't buy happiness, but I need to make more. And I can be kind of obsessed about everything or anything or nothing. And I'm kind of obsessed with the thought of generating more revenue right now. I talked about it last week, and I hope it doesn't cheapen my show. I hope it doesn't cheapen my show. I hope it doesn't cheapen my show. But again, I think it's interesting to see the behind the scenes of content creation or whatever anyone's doing. Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, I met a friend for coffee yesterday. And somewhere during my morning, I talk a lot about my life. And I'm not trying to say I've got it all figured out or I'm in the best shape or I'm in the best place financially or relationship-wise or spiritually-wise or anything. But I think a little bit that's the charm of my show. I think if you buy a workout video, you're expecting to see this sculpted man or woman with a six-pack abs and biceps and big shoulders that eats grass and, only the purest of beef or chicken. And I think there's a charm to the show of kind of having a regular guy do a show. And a regular guy talk about exercise and a regular guy talk about finding his way spiritually. Because if you watch a show about, if you go to church and the pastor's dad was a pastor and his dad was a pastor and you might have a hard time connecting with his spirituality because maybe that guy's never struggled with his own spirituality. Or, as I brought up yesterday, if you are a 20-year-old working at McDonald's, behind in your bills and wondering if you should go to college or not, and Warren Buffett, who's worth $50 billion or whatever Warren Buffett's worth, is giving you advice, I wonder how much that advice is going to resonate with you. Because I don't know if Warren Buffett's ever been in that spot. And maybe the fact that I'm just a regular guy going through his journey and trying his best and falling down and failing. It's funny, I'll give relationship advice, and I'm twice divorced. But as I was saying to my buddy yesterday. Most of the marriage advice people are two bouncy, happy, a bouncy, happy couple named Chip and Buffy. And they're beautiful. And they've got perfect bodies and they're in love and they've got 3.5 perfect model kids. And I'm wondering how much you and I connect to Chip and Buffy, the model-like looking people that have the perfect marriage and don't struggle and drive BMWs to soccer practice every day. And I think that's part of the charm of my show, in that I'm just a regular guy and going through regular life stuff and not necessarily knocking the cover off the ball in any aspect of it, but just kind of sharing his story and sharing the ups and downs and the experiences that I have, and sharing the struggles of real estate to divorce to waiting tables to riding the scooter out to Yellowstone and working for a season and coming back and literally crashing on the way home, falling down, smashing his ankle, scraping up his knee, hurting his bike, hurting his body, challenging his confidence, who's laying under his bike in Montana, right outside the Little Bighorn, who says a quick prayer going, God, please don't be hurt. Don't have me be hurt too bad. And I pulled my foot out from under the bike and stood up on it, and it hurt like heck, but I realized the damage, it wasn't broken or anything, and kind of hobbled around, took a couple hobbling steps, and strained to get the bike up, and looked at it, and sat on it, and turned the key, and said, please, God, let the bike start. I still got 1,000 miles to go home. I have no backup plan. Starting it up, and it started. You know? I don't know. I think we can get a lot of inspiration from those that fall down in life. And if we've never fallen down, if we don't ever fall down, you know, how do we have an opportunity to learn anything? And that guy that does the workout videos, that was, for whatever reason, had 2 gymnast moms and was born with a genetically perfect body that never ate a Big Mac in his life. You know, how much inspiration can we get from him? I don't know. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. But I think that's part of what my show's charm is, and that I'm just kind of normal-ish, and doing my best and falling down and getting back up. Oh, yeah. What kind of restaurant do I work at? Do I have experience working at a restaurant? I've been a waiter 4 or 5 times in my life. First time was end of college. I needed money. Worked at a really nice restaurant in Champaign, Illinois. The next time, I was a stockbroker for 10 or 12 years after that. I was recently married. I left the brokerage business and needed money, and worked as a waiter at a nice Italian restaurant in Woodridge, Illinois. About 10 years after that, after my first divorce, I was a realtor at this time, but had expenses that I wasn't prepared for, and real estate wasn't booming enough for me at the time, and worked for a couple of years part-time at Outback Steakhouse. And a few months ago, after leaving real estate and going through a second painful divorce, I started working out in Yellowstone because an opportunity came my way that put a roof over my head and allowed me to see the country and try different things and build some confidence back up. So I rode out to Yellowstone, worked at a restaurant in Yellowstone, worked hard, worked crazy number of hours, didn't sleep much, continued doing Coffee with Ken, continued working out, continued working on my spiritual self and myself in every way. Realized that I could work hard and have a good attitude and wait tables at a fairly high level at a whole bunch of hours, and said, heck, if I can do it out here, I can do it back home. So I came back home a month ago and had been working at a restaurant in Naperville. Do I wish I stayed out there through October? No. Not even one drop of me wishes I would have stayed out there through October. Not a drop. Not a drop. I got everything I wanted and more from that trip. I do not miss Yellowstone at all. I'm sorry for those that love buffaloes and bears and mountains and national parks. I would way rather live in this extended stay in Naperville, Illinois, than in Yellowstone National Park. And most of you won't understand, and you'll think I'm crazy, and maybe I am, but I'll tell you what, even though I don't see my friends or my family or my babies, and even though I'm still waiting tables, and even though I'm still in a studio and an extended stay in the western suburbs of Chicago, I have opportunities that exist to me that did not exist in Yellowstone. Employment opportunities, social opportunities, spiritual opportunities, conversations to be had, people to meet, jobs to get, resumes to send, restaurants to choose from, coffee shops to choose from. I do not miss being in Yellowstone at all. And I'm not saying it wasn't a positive experience. It was, it was hard. I was living in a dorm. There wasn't air conditioning. I had rotating roommates because there's a ton of turnover at this place. I ate in a cafeteria on a tray with a bunch of 20-somethings, a lot of nice people, but, a same group of workers, a limited group. 95% of the people that we saw were tourists. 100% of the conversations we had were about Old Faithful, or seeing a bear, or seeing a buffalo. And every day, I walked from my dorm room to my place of work and back. And, so I don't miss Yellowstone at all. With restaurant prices going higher and higher, do you find people tip less? No. One nice thing about waiting tables, it's pretty inflation resistant because the prices of the food go up, and people generally tip roughly 20%. If a meal that used to be $50 is now $100, I'll get a $20 tip instead of a $10 tip. The amount of turnover sounds like the work culture is flawed. I would say they do a very good job running the business aspect of Yellowstone, given that all the work that is done there is seasonal. The managers are seasonal, the waiters are seasonal, so who's running the show isn't going to be running the show come winter or come next summer. And who's waiting the tables who's cooking the food, who's sweeping the floors, who's scrubbing the toilets is not going to be the same person there next season or next year. And with everybody turning over all the time, it's amazing it gets done, because working in a restaurant is high pace, high volume, You get better with time. You learn how to enter food into the computer, or how to do everything. Because every time you start a new job, no matter what that new job is, there's a learning curve, and there certainly is working in a restaurant. And I was one of the more seasoned waiters when I left, and I'd only been there 2 months, and I still had a heck of a lot to learn. And the managers are all new, and yeah, it's amazing it works at all. It's amazing it works at all. I thought it was hard. I didn't like it. I wanted things different, as I often do, and wish things were different, and you know. But their pool of employees was limited. I mean, it was limited geographically. They could recruit from all over the world, but then it was just a new face fit plug in a hole, and it wasn't experienced, anything. Was the coffee that bad? Well, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. It was cafeteria coffee. It wasn't cinnamon dolce, and it wasn't pumpkin spice. Mosey says they stopped going out to dinner because of costs. Well, you got to make sacrifices in life, and if certainly going out to dinner is an expensive thing to do, and certainly going out to dinner and paying for, I don't know, you and your wife and maybe a kid or two. You go out now, you're going to spend $100 even if you don't drink generally. And if you do drink, it might be double that. So yeah, no, it's expensive. But I'll tell you what, it's an easy sacrifice to make. And I've cut back in a million different ways. Heck. I've cut back in a million different ways. And you do what you got to do, and you cut back, and you work on revenue. And that's really my focus, try and make more. So cutting back on going out to dinner is kind of, I'd say, a no-brainer. I don't go out to dinner. Yeah, I don't go out to dinner. I get food half price at my restaurant, and I don't even buy it for half price. Because it's cheaper to go to the grocery store and, I don't know, come home from work and eat a big juicy peach and a huge ham and cheese sandwich and a bunch of ice cream, which is what I did last night. But anyway, it's Wednesday morning. The sun is shining, and my day is ahead of me, and your day is ahead of me. And I'm looking forward to my day. I'm looking forward to getting myself a little more coffee. I'm looking forward to posting this video on various social media platforms. My path today is very unclear because I'm not working and not scheduled to see my babies. But if there's a shift available and an opportunity to see my babies, I certainly will take it. I'd love if a work shift came available. And I'd love to pick it up because I know it's guaranteed revenue. And it feels good to have guaranteed revenue. And I make $8.40 an hour. And even if I have no customers, some revenue is better than no revenue. And so like watching. Well, Ryan, they're posted on other social media, on another social media platform, Ryan. If you do not see, yeah, you're right. I am only posting my lives on one social media platform right now. I go live here on TikTok every morning, and I post that live to a social media platform where a lot of people post a lot of videos. So, yeah. No, Lisa, I did the gym yesterday. I worked out yesterday. No, Ryan, that's not it. That's not it. Guess again. But Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I want to thank you so much for joining on this Wednesday morning. Hope your week's going well. Hope your summer went well. Hope you're excited about fall because the leaves are going to start changing. And no, Mosey, guess again. Hope it's a place where a lot of people post a lot of videos. The leaves are going to be changing. The weather is cooling. The sun is shining. And the day is young. And I am looking forward to my day. And I hope you're looking forward to your day as well. And I hope your week's going well. And I hope your morning's going well. And I hope your coffee's going well. And I hope you are feeling good. And I hope you are loving yourself. And I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.